Let's get it. What's up, world? It's Crypto Cardo, Blockchain Future. Today we're going to talk about, is Bitcoin the mark of the beast? No, because when you do your research on what Bitcoin is, you know that it's actually the antithesis. It's the anti-mark of the beast. It's actually set up to counteract or to balance out the same type of institutions designed by entities that would want to bring on a quote-unquote mark of the beast. Not only that, when you dissect the book and the doctrine and the dogma and the paradigm of where the concept of marking the beast actually comes from, which is, it's a biblical term, but the Bible's never been about innovation. The Bible's never really been about taking risks. The Bible has never really been about the expansion of humanity. From Genesis all the way to Revelations, you get quite the opposite. You meet a very oppressive God, a man that's very restrictive. He's got a lot of rules. He likes to count things. He's very meticulous, but not in a way that I feel favors humanity. I feel it's in a way that holds humanity back, that keeps humanity marginalized, that keeps the intellect and imagination of man and woman in a box. I feel like depending on what level of evolution or much mental, emotional, spiritual maturity you're at, it can be a wonderful crutch and teacher, a learning tool to kind of give you the fundamental basics or fundamental roots of the type of reality that you're in. This reality right now, this current era, I mean, it's basically what's designed it. So in a way, it can be useful. It's not complete trash, but it's nothing that I would lean on to ask myself, is this new form of technology, is this enhancement and innovation and advancement of human civilization? Let me check the Bible to see if it's okay. And then it's not something that I would immediately equate to the quote-unquote mark of the beast, which in the Bible, just to finish off, the definition of mark of the beast, it's some type of identification mark, if you take it in the literal sense, that you would take in your hand or your forehead, that if you don't take it, you won't be able to buy or sell. So the buy or sell part, immediately makes people think of money. If you don't take this mark, this new form of money, or this microchip, some people say, I personally believe that it's an ideology. The mark of the beast in your forehead is a form of a mind state. It's a certain culture. It's a certain way of thinking that will pervade a lot of mankind, that will prevent them from being able to save themselves in the end. Because I'm one that believes the Bible isn't about you waiting and obeying an external God. I believe when you really understand and, dare I say, overstand the Bible, you realize that it's talking about you and only you, your inner God and your inner devil, your inner own worst enemy. And it's also can be looked at in a astro-theological sense, where it pretty much is a elaborate personification of the procession of the celestial bodies as they orbit through the 12 zodiacs. So, you can check out Santos Bonacci for more information on what I mean by that. But bottom line is, I don't take the Bible in a literal ABC child reading stories and believing these stories are real type of way. I spent a good portion of my life believing, worshiping, and sacrificing my life in that mind state, and I've since moved on and grown and, dare I say, graduated from that form of mind. So I fully understand where people are coming from when they speak from that point of view, but I also have fully moved on and realized that is not the only and ultimate way to understand the quote-unquote Word of God or the Bible. So when I look at Bitcoin and I look at blockchain technology, I'm not gonna sit here and be scared because it's a new form of currency that's gonna change the current form of currency that we have. And since the mark of the beast seems to be dealing with finance and currency, I'm gonna equate it to that and then start being scared and think that it's a bad thing without doing any research. I'm also not going to tell anybody to blindly follow and praise and worship Bitcoin like it's the new fucking religion and transfer your 401k into Bitcoin. I'm telling you that you need to do your research for yourself and find out exactly what Bitcoin is and find out exactly what blockchain technology is, and then look back at history and see what happened when we traded in gold. When I say we, I'm talking about the human society, humankind, man and woman and child on this earth. I'm talking about the hive mentality, the mentality where all of a sudden everybody starts seeing something a certain way. Like, people were scared when the internet came out and thought it was the devil. People were scared when television came out and thought it was the devil. In many ways, it is the devil. In many ways, it is God. In many ways, it has leveled up and helped humanity evolve and become more interconnected, more informed, more empowered. And in many ways, it has enslaved us. Just like there's night and just like there's day, there's a flip side to everything. So for you to just be focusing on the bad side to the point where it scares you out of a good opportunity and it scares you out of being on the beginning front line of the changing of the guard, just like we had this solar eclipse in August. Everybody that knows about that, when there's a major eclipse like that, when the sun gets overshadowed like that, they call it a changing of the guard. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is simply a changing of the guard. It's just like how we went from a bartering system to a gold-based financial system, to then we stopped lugging around gold bricks and gold coins and all that, and we traded that for paper money. And then we had greenbacks that were backed by the gold supply of the United States. Then in 1930, when the Federal Reserve Bank and all the banking systems got centralized, in one hand for our benefit, but much more so to our detriment, the banking system was centralized and paper money was no longer backed by gold. It began to be backed basically by debt, where for every dollar that was printed, my numbers might be a little off, but for every dollar that is printed, you have to pay back $1.03 in interest. Where does the interest come from if only $1 was printed? The game is rigged. So cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, is the transition now from a debt-based fiat system to a blockchain, cryptography, decentralized system of currency and finance where everything is transparent. Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be in existence. Every Bitcoin is divisible to the 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin, which is I think it's 8 decimal places. which are called Satoshis. Do your research like that on that. I'm just going to drop the keywords. Google is your friend, said Jay-Z. Look it up. So only 21 million available. Every transaction ever made with Bitcoin is visible on the blockchain, open ledger. It's a public ledger. So there's no funny bank business going on. Just do the research and you'll see clearly that Bitcoin is not the mark of the beast. Bitcoin is the dawn of a new era, just like email was to the internet, to your postal service, just like the internet was to everything, to what it was to phones, to what it was to cable, to what it was to everything now. The internet is everything. Can you remember what it was when the internet didn't exist? And then when it existed, people were scared. People were confused. Most importantly, people lacked information. Today, there's no reason for you to lack information. You know, if you hear that a lot of people are saying that Bitcoin is the mark of the beast, that's even more reason for you to do your research on it and find out why. Because anytime you see there's a lot of negative energy about something, you need to see what the flip side is, because that's what they don't want you to look at. And then vice versa, when there's a lot of positive information about something, you need to look at the flip side, because that's what they don't want you to look at. Always check both sides and use your own intuition. But I kind of believe that once you do your research and let your intuition speak to you, you're going to want to transfer your 401k into Bitcoin, because do enough research and it'll be the only thing that makes sense. If not all of it, most of it. Because there's one thing that's going up in value and there's one thing that continuously goes down in value. And I'm just going to say crypto and fiat. You look at which one. So it's been a pleasure speaking to y'all. Hit me up if you have any questions. Crypto, Cardo, blockchain future. Is Bitcoin the mark of the beast? No. Thank you.